Across Africa and the diaspora, one name is being discussed more than any other: Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the leader of Burkina Faso. On social media, in public debates, and in Pan-African forums, he is portrayed by his admirers as a hero who dared to speak truth to power. To many, Traoré represents a new kind of African leader, unafraid to say openly that African heads of state must stop behaving like puppets who dance whenever the imperialists pull strings. The appeal of his message and persona. Why does his message resonate so strongly? The answer lies partly in the deep frustration of many Africans with the political systems they live under. People are searching for saviors, leaders who can embody their anger, their hopes, and their demand for dignity. When they see someone standing up to France, to the West, and to imperialism, they rally behind him, often regardless of the realities on the ground. Traoré also looks the part. Young, charismatic, and dressed in military fatigues, he projects the image of a revolutionary. His style and rhetoric evoke memories of Thomas Sankara, the legendary Pan-Africanist and reformist president of Burkina Faso who was assassinated in 1987. Sankara's supporters have long accused France, the former colonial power, of being complicit in his death because of his Marxist and anti-imperialist stance. By echoing Sankara's fiery message of independence, economic sovereignty, and resistance, Traoré has positioned himself as a spiritual successor to that legacy. Popular moves that strengthen his image. Since taking power in AR coup, Traoré has made a series of bold decisions that struck a chord with the public. He expelled French troops from the country, attempted to renegotiate mining contracts so Burkina Faso could retain more of its wealth, and placed agriculture, the country's largest employer, at the center of his policies by providing farmers with free access to equipment. These moves elevated him to the status of a revolutionary figure across Africa, even as the situation inside Burkina Faso tells a more complex story. The harsh reality on the ground. Behind the powerful speeches and celebrated reforms lies harsher truth. Burkina Faso is now the country most affected by terrorism, according to the Global Terrorism Index. Experts estimate that nearly half of the nation's territory is outside government control. Ethnic conflict and jihadist violence have only worsened since Traoré came to power, despite his promises to end insecurity. Human rights groups accuse the army of carrying out atrocities against civilians. Yet, Traoré's supporters dismiss such reports as Western propaganda designed to undermine his popularity. This emotional rejection of criticism only deepens his image as a man besieged by outside enemies, a narrative his followers embrace passionately. Propaganda, Russia's influence, and the role of social media. There is no denying the role of social media in building Traoré's image. Online platforms are flooded with dramatic claims about his achievements, some true, many exaggerated, and some outright false. Artificial intelligence, generated videos, and manipulated images have become central tools in this wave of content. Investigative journalist Justin Yaga has exposed a Russian-backed propaganda campaign that intensified after Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Burkina Faso, in turn, shifted away from France and toward Moscow, trading gold for military support and benefiting from propaganda machine designed to appeal directly to African audiences. Cracks in freedom and independent voices. Inside Burkina Faso, however, dissent is shrinking. Reporters Without Borders has documented a rapid deterioration of press freedom since the military takeover. Independent journalists and critics face harassment, threats, and even forced recruitment into the army, with some sent directly to the front line. Political parties and civil society groups also report an atmosphere of fear and intimidation. Democracy or revolution? At first, Traoré promised to hand power back to civilians through democratic elections. But recently he announced he would remain in power for another 5 years. His justification was clear and unapologetic. We are not in democracy. We are in a popular progressive revolution. Democracy is only the end result, not the beginning. This rhetoric echoes Africa's post-independence history, when military rulers seized power under the banner of revolution, only to cling to authority for decades while the country stagnated. A generation searching for hope. For many young Africans, that history feels distant. What they see instead is a leader who dares to say what others will not. In an age of corruption, poor governance, and broken promises, Ibrahim Traoré has become a symbol of defiance and dignity. But symbols are not solutions. Scholars warn that placing blind faith in strongman risks repeating the same cycles of repression and disappointment. Real change, they argue, requires building systems and institutions that hold leaders accountable, not simply elevating individuals as saviors. Conclusion. Whether Traoré proves to be a genuine revolutionary or just another military ruler in Africa's long history remains to be seen. What is undeniable is that he has tapped into a powerful current of frustration and hope across the continent. For many, he is not just a man, he is an idea, a a rallying cry against colonial legacies and broken status quo. And in the eyes of his supporters, that idea is worth believing in, even if the risks are high.